Who's an expert on the Islamic world. She's in our central London studio. Do you think, we've just heard from the French foreign minister who's dubbed this a success, do you think that they can go in quickly, come out quickly and achieve the mission there?
Well, it's, you know, the UN coalition went in a very heavy-handed way, and the perception on in Libya, but also more and more across the Arab world, is that, you know, the official aim of the UN resolution, which is to protect civilians, is looking more and more, you know, disingenuous from the UN coalition. And the perception on the ground, especially after what happened in Tripoli last night, when the Gaddafi compound was hit by airstrikes, and which was very much surrounded by civilian populations, is that the real end game is literally the end of Gaddafi, either literally or in a metaphorical manner, but a regime change certainly. And that is the feeling not only among Gaddafi supporters, which see in that event a reminder, a sinister reminder of the US bombing of 1986, where Gaddafi lost his 4-year-old daughter, but also among Libyans who were not particularly supportive of Gaddafi, but who were not expressing their dissent in a forceful manner, perhaps out of fear, but who are now coming out and, you know, saying that they feel even more patriotic. So that's proving to be counterproductive for the UN coalition, that indeed Gaddafi is rallying more and more support around him.
Give us a sense, Nabila, of how the country divides in terms of its numbers or percentages. How many Libyans do you think at this point are loyal to Gaddafi?
Well, that has always been the crucial point in all this, because it was always hard to gauge, you know, if indeed the rebels were a majority of people or a minority of, you know, constituting an armed, you know, putting together an armed rebellion. But as far as the figures are concerned, Tripoli, you have 2.5 million people living in Tripoli, around 1 million in the west. The population in Libya is around 6 million. So, you know, it's very hard to gauge what is exactly, you know, the balance in terms of pro and anti-Gaddafi. But it seems, nonetheless, that the rebellion is very much, you know, constituted by a minority of people who decided for very legitimate reasons to take up arms and to challenge a very nasty regime. But precisely because it has failed to do so, the feeling is that the UN resolution was very much rushed, not just to prevent the bloodshed in Benghazi, but more crucially to prevent the fall of Benghazi in the hands of the Gaddafi regime, hence the urgency.
Nabila, thank you very much indeed. We appreciate that. Just getting some news in that we can